Round and round it goes. The incestuous money go round. It's all about money and theft. None of these people who are saying we've got to protect Ukraine, care about the Ukraine. They wouldn't have started this war in the first place. It's disgusting. Exactly, Sarah. Keir Starmer only cares about filling his own pockets. Look at the state of him. Cattle is exactly as how they see us, says Stacey. Indeed, they do. They don't give a whit about the small people of Ukraine. If they had, they'd never have overthrown the sovereign government and began the task of creating a proxy army there to menace the Russians. Imagine if the Russians were putting bases and firing long-range missiles, helping the IRA fire long-range missiles into the UK. What would the UK do? So put yourself in the shoes of why this war came about. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we do love Julia and we support Julia. And we have compassion for Julia and we have compassion for the McCanns with what they've been through. We do not condone the allegations against Julia, what she's allegedly done. We would all advise her against anything like that. And but she's just a girl who's struggling to find out her true identity, and it's really sad. Rocky Mountain, the war has been a giant cover over for the organ. Yo, my goodness, the human transportation and the organs. They're just even more diabolical threads to the way Ukraine has been monetized. We talk about the interest on the $250 billion. They're all just little pieces of the jigsaw. There's so many different parts to the way Ukraine is being monetized by BlackRock, and it's the banksters, really. These elite dynastic banking families that have got the big holdings in big pharma, big military, etc. Let's see what SA is saying. It's not about pro or anti. A lot of people don't understand how orchestrated a lot of wars are. Yeah, totally. Because, if we've got someone on here who's researched in geopolitics and they talk about how Russia was goaded into this and provoked into this, because you're not going to allow potential future threats setting up military bases on your border. America's got the Monroe Doctrine. They wouldn't do it. And because they got the Monroe Doctrine, they knew Russia wouldn't do it. And they knew if they forced it, this would happen to Ukraine. But because they didn't give a shit about the people of Ukraine, it was all about not just monetizing Ukraine, but trying to wear Russia down to get into Russia and steal all of Russia's resources too, which are multiple of Ukraine's resources. Supposedly, Trump's trying to do it the smart way by brokering deals with Putin to open up those resources. But the globalists, whose foreign policy, if you read Zbigniew Brzezinski or Kissinger, which I did because I wanted to familiarize myself with the enemy, and then Noam Chomsky on the other side of it, who's exposing American geopolitics. He says the Americans have divided the whole world up into this client states. A country is either a client state or they're not. And if they're not, they better watch out, because they're probably damn well going to get overthrown. And America's going to come in and extract your resources, which is exactly what they're trying to do now with Iran. I mean, how insulting is it to see all these sanctimonious pricks going on the exact same news channels that told us Saddam Hussein has got weapons of mass destruction? All the same gaggle of lying psychos, manipulative media stiffs, having the same debates with the same fake, false authority, smugly saying that Iran now has got weapons of mass destruction. Come on now. It's been 20 years and they think we've forgotten. Oh, anyone can even watch that crap anymore. Any of the BBC, ITV, all these channels. Whenever they're in lockstep about anything major, look the other way, folks. Come to the independent media because they're up to something. So Kaz is saying Julia had 3 charges dropped, but still faces 1 charge. And I shall go to the Free Julia Wandel Facebook page next to see if there are any more updates. And if you want to join that page, the link is in the description box. And also is the link to Julia's mailing address and how to email her. But remember, don't put anything else in the envelope other than the letter. And you got to write your return address on it. Otherwise, she won't get it. It'll be canned or returned. La Mini Manada de Paloma. Was there a peaceful protest outside? I don't know, but her supporters, it did say in the report in the news today. It's all over the news today. Even when I went to the health food shop today to get some grapes, the lad, the young man in there, he said he'd seen Julia on the news channels today. Yeah, so but they are generally the mainstream media, you know, they are phrasing it as if she's a crazy stalker. Nikki, could we look at the idea that she's not Polish and ended up in Poland because of human transportation? That is a possibility, Nikki. We cannot rule that out until we get to the bottom of this by having a DNA test, but it looks like it's never, ever going to be done. They're going to leave Julia perpetually wondering about who she is, which is not a good outcome. Because it's going to lead, I suspect, it's going to lead to more trouble down the road for her. You know, you cannot, if someone doesn't know who they are, it doesn't matter what the justice system does, they're never going to stop looking. They're not going to let it go because it's like your existence, isn't it? It's your identity. Let's see. Lady Roses, in my opinion, Julia isn't a flight risk. She just wants to continue a search for more of the truth on her real identity. If she has to wait till August, the charge should be dropped, as she be in about 6 months. I know they don't care. They don't care. The wheels of justice turn very slowly. When they came and got me for my ecstasy case, I was told that there was a thing called a speedy trial and a fair trial, and I was still on remand going into my 3rd year. Entering my 3rd year, I was still on remand, going court every month, never getting a chance to say anything, and the whole thing's a farce. Your lawyer puts on his theatre show, the state put on their theatre show. None of it's based in reality. It's all completely surreal, like a Kafka novel, The Trial. And your head's just spinning. And until you've been submerged in it, it's hard to completely understand the reality of it. So freedoms. In your experience, is it better to admit to your crime so as to receive leniency from the court? So my understanding is that in the UK, if you do strike a deal before going to trial, whereby you admit to your crimes, you do get some kind of discount on your sentence. So that's an emulation of the plea bargaining system in America. So in America, where I was housed in Arizona, 98% of the cases go to plea bargain, because if you go to trial, they are going to bloody well make an example out of you. They are going to give you the aggravated maximum sentence because it costs tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, to go to trial. They don't want to spend that money on your ass, on my sorry ass. They want to scare the living daylights out of you, like used car salespeople. These prosecutors tell you you're facing hundreds of years. So when you are offered 9.5, which I got in the end, that's a relief when you think you're facing hundreds. Yeah, but if you go to trial in America, they'll make headline news out of you, give you a huge sentence. So everybody else in the jailhouse is going to be quaking in their boots, not wanting to roll the dice and go to trial. That's how it works. It's all a manipulation, folks. And the remand jails are just conveyor belts to the prison industrial complex. They just want to process as many people as fast as possible. The lawyers, the public pretenders, they've got like quotas. They just want to get each case closed so they can get onto the next victim, the legal vampires. They don't do any real work. They just want you to sign a plea bargain. They don't want you to go to trial. They don't want to put that work in. So they are encouraging you to cut a deal as well, on the basis that you will receive leniency from the court, as we've got this question from Freedoms. I've got a video on my channel called What is a Plea Bargain? I think it's like 10, 20 minutes long, where I really get into all the details of that, if you people want more specifics. All right, let me see. I'll read a few more comments, and then I'll go over to the Facebook page, because they all have the latest news over there. I do watch the Facebook page. I've not commented because when all this started, we were advised to protect Julia, to take the podcast down. Certain things or even comments could be used against her. Live chat responses could be used against her. They could say that Julia's inciting anxiety now. What is it? The Online Safety Act. If you cause anxiety for a social media post, you can get charged, you can get arrested. We've got 30 people a day in this country right now being arrested for this crap, which is why one of the reasons we've got Paul Golding coming on at 9, leader of Britain First. That's what we're at now, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's in 4 hours. Zara's coming on at 8 p.m. UK with Jen, hopefully for an hour as well before that. And Ron is lollygagging today, recovering no doubt from his birthday festivities. And yeah, so we had to be careful when Julia got arrested. And I've got to be careful what I say online as well, very careful what I say. And that's why I'm not, I've been invited to go on a few other channels to talk about this case, but I've just declined because it's all risk. It's all risk to Julia and anyone who causes anyone else anxiety who reports them to the police. Do I think that Julia is Madeleine McCann? I've never ever said that Julia is Madeleine McCann. A lot of troll channels have said I am out here promoting that, and I've not. And I've said from day one it was John Wedger, the ex-London Metropolitan detective, who brought Julia to my channel. And he said, Sean, I think Madeleine McCann is dead, but Julia is a lovely person. She's not the crazy person the media are portraying. And I think you'd be fascinated by her story. And that is the basis. And that is why we got Julia on, and she became a good friend of the channel. And we still support her to this day. But like I said, what she's done is wrong if these allegations are correct. And we don't support that kind of behavior. Jenna, do you think Julia's day will come and she'll be treated fairly? It's hard to tell. They say your sentence depends on what the judge has had for his breakfast. The whole system is so fickle and manipulated, and it absolutely cannot be trusted. So if you've got some good players, some well-meaning, honourable people who are in court that day, maybe she's got a chance. If she's got some evil people who are just going with the mainstream media narrative and agenda, and then they're going to put a hanging judge in front of her, and she's going to get shanghaied. So the justice system is Alice in Wonderland. Seriously. People can just go in, and one guy who's guilty of something heinous can just get a slap on the wrist. Another person who's done a minor thing, social media post, they could throw the book at them. There is no rhyme nor reason. I was on remand. People aren't usually on remand for very long. Because I was on remand with my ecstasy case for 26 months, I was seeing people coming in and out, in and out, in and out, hearing all the stories, watching them get sentenced, Every day people getting sentenced. And I just learned that there's no rhyme nor reason, and court is theatre, and whoever's got the most money puts on the best theatre show. And they're the people who get their sentences minimized. They probably hand down some backsheesh to the judge behind the scenes. And I knew of one case where a guy did that. Not only did he get himself off, he got his cellmate off. He told his cellmate, he ended up getting a mistrial. This is in the jail I was at. And he told his cellmate, look, I'm going to get a mistrial, but nobody knows that yet. Why don't you call my prosecutor and tell her that I've said things to you and you snitch me out? And in exchange for snitching me out, you get your case reduced. And that he did. He snitched this guy out, played the prosecutor, got his sentence vastly reduced, got released. And then the other one went to it was going to go to trial, and it was mistrial, and he got released as well. And if you've got money, the people with money, they know how to play the system. Yeah. I remember Two Tonys. Remember the book, The Mafia Philosopher? Two Tonys, who supported me in the very beginning. John Shield Journal. He's the one who told me, in America, Sean, you get what justice you can afford. Yeah. And oh yeah, I was going to see what the latest is on the Facebook page, and Kaz has just said she sent me something on X, so I'll pull my X up as well. And let me see messages from Kaza. She sent me some Ron Swanson videos doing a funky dance. All right, I'll that's up to Ron to post that. I ain't posting that. All right, so oh, what's this? Okay. I have sent this today regarding the funding for Operation Grange. Freedom of information request. And then there's an automated response. All right. That's someone just trying to get more information from Operation Grange. That's near the top of the post. Most relevant. We have got 1 hour ago. Julia appeared in court. She looked well and smiled and waved at her supporters. She pled not guilty and was remanded again till August 15th bail hearing. 6-month remand runs out on August 22nd, so they have to extend it or release. 10 to 12-day trial begins Thursday, 2nd of October. That'll be 8 months in custody and a 2-week trial cost the taxpayer. Hundreds of thousands that will cost taxpayer. Hundreds of thousands. Yeah. That's all going in the pockets of these lawyers, these legal vampires, the judge, any expert witnesses. Like I said, it's an industry, folks. These vampires, they just love this stuff. They can just come up with all kinds of theories and expert stories and all this garbage and just rake in tens of thousands. We're all left just, choking on their vomit, watching Julia get shanghaied by these evil creeps. That's how these things end up. Sadly, worst case scenario, folks. Let's be a bit optimistic as well that she's going to get released. All right, so I want to take a moment to speak honestly and openly following the Instagram post by Serge about charges being dropped. I think that is a dead end because I've never heard anything about Julia's charges being dropped. And once they're invested in a case like this that's gone all over international news headlines, it's very rare that charges are dropped. They've got to get their pound of flesh. Let's see. People email in the politician caseworker. All right, yeah. So people contacting local politicians to help Julia. That's a good thing. Let's see, we got anything else? More comparison photos. We are from all over the world, all backgrounds, professions, experiences. We share this. We care about Julia. Oh, that's nice. Let me give that a like. 10 hours of gay justice for Julia. Do the DNA test now. Yep. Save the taxpayer hundreds of thousands. Do the DNA test now. Absolutely obscene that they're not doing it. That could be money they could be putting into going out and arresting these grooming gang monsters. But no, we don't have the resources to go after the PDFs because we're busy monetizing Julia's case right now. Yeah, all right, well, that looks like that, folks. Nothing other, no extra details here from anyone who's been to the court hearing today. Let's rally together to support a resolution of this case. I mean, surely the McCanns as well at this point would like Julia just to have this resolved. Perhaps it would give the McCanns peace of mind. It's got to go one way or the other, and that's it, isn't it? Furia's McCann investigation receives millions more funding from the Met Police. It is not fair, absolutely. Yeah, good point made there. Let's see. I cannot understand how Julia has been charged with stalking when the McCanns are still asking for information leading to finding what happened to Maddie or where she is. Yeah, the court system is just a tool to be weaponized by those in power. So with Ron still lollygagging, hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. We will have Zara and Jen. What is it? Almost 5. They're coming on 8. They're coming on in 3 hours. It's going to be Zara and Jen and Nadia. Nadia's not been on the channel before. Talking about the sadists. And then Paul Golding of Britain First. He's coming on at 9. So get your questions ready, folks. Set your alarms or whatever the hell it is. And if you want to write to Julia or email Julia or join the Facebook support group, all the links are in the description. And I am watching the case closely from, without posting things on the Facebook group because there's all kinds of legal ramifications if anything is misconstrued as causing anyone anxiety. So we've got to be very careful. But we are supporting Julia. Ron is on the phone with Julia every few days, keeping abreast of her situation. And when he gets back, I'm sure he spoke to her. He'll be speaking to her, and he will give you a full update. If you missed this, we did 4 hours with Kevin Annette yesterday. We did 3 hours of the pre-records on the Pope and the Vatican and the evils of the royal family and the church. And then last night we had a 1 hour live stream with Kevin answering your questions. If you missed that stuff, Kevin is phenomenal. He's like David Icke level, and David Icke's praised him for his research when it comes to the Vatican. So look out for that stuff. We'll be putting some clips out as well. But I got to get back to baby Ziggy right now. Our sitter's time is about to run out. But I hope to see some of you back when I'm back at 9. And yeah, write to Julia directly if you have any concerns or questions, or you want to give us some love and support when you are in prison. Every letter you get is like gold. You're waiting for the mail call, and honestly, it's like the spirit, your spirit, you're transferring that to the prison to support Julia through the written word.